to 92. Judges David Sutherland and Chris Migliori both score the bout 98 to 91. All three in favor of the winner, the problem child, Jake Paul.
Grateful for it now than anything. And no knockers. Knockers don't mean nothing. You got to be able to go the distance. That's fighting.
Everybody has a plan until they get hit. Yeah. You got hit. And how did it affect you?
I went to plan B. I hit him back.
Mike Tyson losing to Jake Paul feels like a headline ripped from an alternate universe. But here we are. At 58 years old, the legendary Tyson faced Jake Paul in a fight that has left fans reeling. The outcome? Tyson lost. And if that wasn't shocking enough, his post-fight revelation sent everyone into a frenzy.
We gotta do this again.
The fight, held at AT&T Stadium and streamed live on Netflix, was anything but ordinary. Months of hype, debates, and sky-high expectations built up to this moment. It wasn't just a boxing match, it was a spectacle.
I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant, I'm a beginner.
Did he ever hurt you tonight?
Well, listen, he surprised me with the hook. He hit me with a hook, a good hook.
Hurt.
Yes, it did hurt.
Tyson, a heavyweight icon, stepping into the ring at his age against a YouTuber turned boxer, had the world on edge. When the referee lifted Jake Paul's hand, the disbelief was palpable. Fans were
to get
split.
away with everything.
Some cried foul play, others were stunned into silence. Tyson's defeat wasn't just a blow to his legacy, but a surreal twist in a sport where anything can happen.
Like Mike, there's just no appetite for this. It just doesn't make sense. The other thing is Mike having to pull out because of ulcers, like that f***ed it all up. Jake's team's brilliant, so maybe it's a Trojan horse, like I've said before. Hey, just get this across, we'll get the views, and then they're gonna sign 3 fights, some sort of deal, or he gets the UFC. I don't know. I don't see the up.
It's 2024, and the unexpected is now the norm. This fight, filled with drama and jaw-dropping moments, will be debated for years. Whether you loved or hated it, one thing's for sure, it left the entire world talking. Tyson, a name that once struck
on Friday night when I put this man to sleep, so that is pretty dope.
He dreamed a lot.
A lot of dreaming.
I knew it
did
would
a lot
all
of
come
dreaming.
true.
I mean, this is not going to come true, young.
fear into opponents, stepped into the ring with Jake Paul, a guy better known for pranking his brother and selling body spray like it's a survival tool. The narrative was straightforward. Tyson, the heavyweight icon, was supposed to obliterate Paul, no questions, no debate. Everyone expected Mike to flatten Jake in minutes. But reality had other plans. Jake Paul, the same guy famous for stunts like wearing fat suits and...
What did you initially think when you heard that Mike Tyson was going to be getting in the ring with Jake?
I was thinking that Jake Paul was going to be in trouble because, you know, Mike Tyson knows how to throw great body punches, great headshots. And, you know, we just have to see if he's going to do them in the ring. I'm hoping that he'll do.
Posting chicken nugget eating challenges turned the script on its head. Instead of just surviving, Jake delivered a knockout punch so devastating it did the unthinkable. Mike Tyson couldn't get back.
This is a scary, scary man. He's a killer and has all the power still clearly in all the videos, all the sparring that he's showing, dropping his sparring partners. My mom is messaging, she can't even watch Tyson punch. She won't watch it because it scares her.
Yes, you read that, right? Jake Paul, the walking meme, left Iron Mike sprawled on the canvas, stunned. It was a moment so surreal it felt like the universe had momentarily glitched. Fans worldwide were left questioning their sanity, rubbing their eyes.
I have big plans and I'm continuing to, again, do the impossible and show people what I'm capable of. And they chalk up what I've done to fights being rigged. Still, when he posts on his Instagram looking like a killer.
As if trying to shake off a bad dream. This wasn't just a fight, it was a reality-breaking event. Seeing Tyson defeated by someone many considered a joke in the boxing world was a jaw-dropping spectacle. The world watched in disbelief, wondering if things had finally...
That used to bother me.
Right.
That used to bother me because I was like, no, I'm working so hard, can't you people see? But now I take it as a compliment because the human peon brain of the 99% can't even comprehend
Can't even get it.
how good I've gotten and what I'm accomplishing in this world.
Finally spiraled completely off the rails. Let's rewind and talk about Jake Paul's reputation, or more accurately, the circus that is his public image. This is a guy whose training sessions often resembled pre-game.
He's not going to win. I think he thinks this is going to be a very easy night. It's not going to be an easy night.
I don't think that. I think it's going to be a war of ages. The fans are the ones who win out of this, but I know you, I know your soul on a deeper level, and I know myself, and I know you're not going to
tailgates more than serious athletic prep. He'd post clips of himself scarfing down junk food, acting like running laps was medieval torture. No one took him seriously. Boxing purists dismissed him as a joke, a sideshow act.
100%, and I have to stay active. I have to stay working towards my goal of becoming a world champion. So there needs to be 3 fights a year for me at least, and that's how I get better, is under the bright lights and performing when there's adrenaline and nerves.
Distracting from the real sport. Suggesting Jake Paul could genuinely fight was a surefire way to get laughed out of any serious boxing discussion. To most, Jake Paul wasn't a contender, he was a punchline. But beneath the absurdity and social media...
I'm just ready to go.
Now, does a loss to Jake Paul damage your legacy?
I don't look at my life as a legacy. Legacy to me means ego. Who the f*** about my legacy? I'm going to be dead soon one day. But he's not going to win.
Media antics, Jake was scheming. Hidden behind the layers of foolishness was a game plan so clever you almost have to respect it. While the world underestimated him, Jake Paul was quietly preparing to shock everyone. Shocked the world? No one thought Jake Paul could.
Round 5 and Jake's looking for the finish. He's hurt! On the ropes! Jake Paul pulling it on here! Realizing big time round for Jake.
Why would they? This was Jake Paul after all. But here's the twist. Jake wasn't all talk. He trained, and he trained hard. Out of the spotlight, away from the doubters and trolls, his goal wasn't just to show up and collect a paycheck. He was determined to prove everyone wrong. When he stepped into that
unanimous decision, here are the score totals. Judge of ringside, David Yakabuchi, scores about 97-92.
ring, it was clear. This wasn't the same guy hamming it up for social media. Jake was focused, prepared, and ready to fight. And then there was Mike Tyson, stepping into the ring at almost 58 years old, a moment that transcended sports. Most men his age are trading boxing gloves for golf clubs and reminiscing about bench-pressing 200 pounds decades ago. But not Tyson. In his prime, he didn't just want to beat opponents, he once said he'd eat their hearts. And when Tyson fights, the world watches. Even as he nears 60, Mike Tyson's wild, unstoppable fire hasn't dimmed. It's 2024, and Tyson could have easily looked at this fight and said, I'm good, without anyone batting an eye. Let's be honest.
Former undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Most men his age are worried about their cholesterol, not squaring off against a power-punching maniac like Jake Paul. But there he was, a 57-year-old living icon, striding into AT&T Stadium like a gladiator entering the Roman Colosseum, ready to prove why he's still called the baddest man on the planet. And if you thought Tyson was just there to take a few hits and cash a check, think again. From the opening bell, Tyson meant business. He turned back the clock, delivering a performance that had fans rubbing their eyes in disbelief. Those infamous uppercuts, the same ones that shattered jaws and dreams in the 80s, were back, showcasing flashes of the raw power that made him a legend. Back with a vengeance, Joe Rogan, calling the fight, nearly lost his voice when Tyson landed a vicious left uppercut in round 1. Jake Paul's knees buckled, his arms flailed like he was swatting invisible flies, and for a moment, it seemed like Jake was about to take an under.
On the ropes! Jake Paul pouring it on here! Realizing big-time round for Jake Paul. Big round, big round, big shot.
Planned nap on the canvas. And Tyson's footwork? It wasn't just impressive for a 58-year-old, it was impressive, period. Despite years away from this level of competition, he ducked and weaved like it was 1988 all over again. Jake Paul, who entered the ring brimming with confidence, suddenly resembled a kid who'd picked a fight with his dad and was instantly regretting it. Tyson's strength, agility, and sheer defiance of age were on full display. It wasn't just a fight, it was a performance that screamed classic Tyson, raw, relentless, and unforgettable. For fans, it was a spectacle, a masterclass.
Migliori both score the bout 98-91, all three in favor of the winner, the problem child, Jake Paul!
Your winner!
And a sight to behold. But then came the harsh reminder, even legends are human. By round 3, the toll on Mike Tyson's body was undeniable. This wasn't a Hollywood comeback where the hero defies all odds and stays invincible forever. Fans flooded Twitter, half-jokingly doubling these the ulcer-inducing breath, as disturbing as the hit they deployed to make him do these extreme things to begin with was heart-wrenching. Yet, Tyson never played the age card. He didn't complain, didn't ask for sympathy. He could have thrown in the towel, and the world would have given him a standing ovation just for stepping into the ring. But that's not who Tyson is. For him, fighting is about heart and defiance, about telling Father Time to take a hike. Just when it seemed Tyson's sheer willpower might carry him to victory, the fight took a turn so wild it felt straight out of a Hollywood script. Jake Paul, who had spent most of the match looking one uppercut away from calling it quits, suddenly found a burst of energy that defied logic. Moments earlier, referee Steve Willis was on the verge of stopping the fight, as Jake, cornered and barely holding on, endured a relentless barrage of punches from Tyson. The crowd was on its feet, roaring, waiting for Tyson to finish it. Then, in the blink of an eye, Jake Paul unleashed a right hook that silenced the stadium. It wasn't just a counter. It was an earth-shattering punch that flipped the fight upside down. Tyson, who had been in total control, was stunned. Suddenly, it was Tyson who was in trouble. Jake Paul, sensing his chance, went on the offensive with a flurry of punches that resembled an angry swarm of bees. Social media erupted. Within minutes, Jake Paul's steroids was trending, with conspiracy theorists analyzing every frame of the fight for proof Jake was juiced. People dug up old photos, dissecting muscle definition like amateur CSI investigators. But when the official tests came back clean, the world was left stunned. Jake Paul's power wasn't from some secret lab. It was the result of good, old-fashioned training. And it turns out Jake had been playing a psychological game the entire time. Experts began breaking down the fight, realizing that Jake had deliberately taken a beating early on to lull Tyson into a false sense of security. It was a masterstroke of strategy. Jake let Tyson wear himself down, absorbing the punishment and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When the legend's energy began to wane, Jake pounced, unleashing a calculated and devastating counterattack. The prankster turned boxer didn't just survive, he outfoxed and outlasted one of the most dangerous fighters in history. The fight wasn't just a spectacle, it was a jaw-dropping roller coaster of drama and strategy. In the end, Jake Paul proved that love him or hate him, he's not just a gimmick, he's here to stay, and the boxing world will never look at him the same way again.